if you guys
that's what I
getting
meant.
disgusting.
Alright, so when you guys throw your punches, okay, try to really focus on keeping your elbows inside. Okay, there's a lot of reasons for this because the power of your punch is not going to come from the mass of your arm. Okay, I mean, bigger guys hit harder, but that's just because they have more mass in their arms. Okay, if they throw arm punches, it's still going to be a weak sauce punch. You want to throw from your hips. Okay, so when you throw, almost think of your hip and your arm acting like one piece of a war machine. Okay, so if it's like a trebuchet, you're flinging the boulder, okay, with your arm, but the mechanics of that trebuchet starts from your hips. Okay, so when he takes that right hand, if he holds it up for me, yeah, okay, I'm not throwing with my elbows flared up. I'm gonna lose my balance. Okay, if I put a lot of tension on my hips as I bring in that right hand, the natural reaction from my hip is to bring my hip back. Okay, I want to relieve that tension in my legs. Okay, so when I throw, okay, I'm not going to throw like this and hang my arm out there. I'm going to bring it straight back. Okay? Okay, it's speed that kills, right? So when you throw your jab, it's the same mentality. So if you hold the 1-2 for me, just real close here, you always want to punch chin level. So don't worry about the targets. You're going to land no matter what. Okay? Focus on his chin. And focus on landing on chin level. So I'm never taking my eyes off his chin. Same thing with my right hand. I'm never taking my eyes off his chin. Okay? I can still see the pads, or whatever my target's going to be, whether it be gloves or pads or mitts. Okay? But I need to focus on turning my hips each side. Okay? You can even turn on your jab if you want to. You can cock your hips and throw, cock your hips and throw, cock your hips and throw. Okay? But the key is you always have to be tight. Loose, but tight. Okay? You want to be throwing relaxed, but my elbows are never flared. I'm rifling my arms. Okay? So don't think about pushing your target through. Don't punch through your target, punch him. Okay? So I'm not punching through Louis, I'm punching him. Right? I'm punching him. So it's the same thing with the drill. Okay? It's testing both your offensive and defensive skills. Okay? So that's why we're doing this drill. So if Louis throws the 1, 2, and 3, okay, I'm testing my defense. I'm testing my awareness. Defense is not a position. Okay, it's awareness. I need to know what he's doing in order to play defense. There's no defensive position. Okay? There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. If I'm here, I'm still vulnerable. If I'm here, I'm still vulnerable. If I'm here, I'm still vulnerable. Okay? It's knowing how to adjust. That's the key. Okay, so again, if he throws, I'm going to read his body. Okay? The same thing. He's going to read my body now. Okay? And I'm going to make sure that I'm throwing right. Okay? So I'm going to make sure my jab's tight. I'm going to make sure my right hand's tight, my elbow's not flaring out. When I throw the hook, I'm going to make sure I turn that hip over. Okay? So it sounds like a really complicated mechanism because so many things are moving at the same time. Okay? But as long as you figure out that you have to be at the most relaxed state for your body, okay, to punish the opponent as quickly as possible. Okay? Your punches have to be fast. Okay? So when you throw, you don't want to be real tight and start throwing like this. Okay? You want to be tight and okay? Tight at the elbows, loose. Okay? Okay? Any questions?
For your hooks, do you kind of like do shovel hooks, or do you ever bring it?
It depends on what you want to drill. What I prefer, so if you hold the hook out for me like that, just like this. Yep. Okay, what I prefer is I like the palm coming towards me. Okay, when you throw the palm down, it's not the wrong hook. Okay, the shovel hook's not a wrong hook. It's just you got to be aware of what you're doing. So I will use a hook that has my palm pointing down, but I use that as a check hook. So if Louis wants to be real aggressive and he wants to come towards me, he's rushing, that's when I use my check hook. Okay? But when you're drilling this, I think what you guys should focus on is your distancing. So if you have long arms, don't worry about really hitting the target. Okay? Worry about getting your whole hip over. Right? Because the length of your hook is going to depend on the dexterity of your arm. Okay? So I can throw a hook like this. I can throw a hook like this. But the common denominator to both those techniques is my hip is moving.
Okay.
Right? So don't compensate. I'm going to land and I'm going to do this. It's not a hook. It's a slap. Okay? This is a slap. You want to, boom. Okay? Shoulder to shoulder. Boom.
But I mean, elbow-wise, should I have it up here, or that just depends on my target also?
It depends. So you asked about the shovel hook. The shovel hook is towards the body.
Right.
Like that. Okay? So that takes a little more, it's more of an advanced move. I have to slip his right hand. I'm throwing it to the gut. Okay, so it's like a hooker gut. That's another name for it. Okay, but with your hooks, you want your shoulder and your forearm to be completely perpendicular to your body. Okay? You don't want to be like this and then try to, hammer it in. You want to carry one motion and boom, shoulder to shoulder. Okay. So if he holds it out for me, okay, shoulder to shoulder. Okay. So a key thing is you don't want to lift your elbows like a flare, okay, like a chicken wing. You don't want to do that. If you do that, he's going to hook. Right. I want to slide my elbow back, cock my body, and then unload. Right. Okay. It's a little tiny movement, and elite boxers can tell what's going to come just by looking at this little tiny movement. He's going to turn. Well, it's going to be a hook or uppercut somewhere. Okay, I'm either going to come here, or I'm going to come here. Right. Same thing. I have to turn that hip. Okay? It's okay to be putting your weight on your back foot, okay? But you have to turn that hip with the hook. Okay? So when you guys drill, also don't focus on hitting him too hard. Okay? So if I'm drilling 1, 2, 3, I'm not trying to hit him power shot after power shot after power shot. I'm setting him up for something. Okay? So let me say that I'm setting him up for a hook. So he holds it out like that. Okay? So keep that up. Hold that. So if I'm throwing the 1, 2, and 3, my 3 is going to be my power punch. If I'm moving, okay, so I'm occupying his guard, finishing him off. Okay, power, power, power. Okay, now he's had a little taste. I'm going to change my rhythm up now. Okay, I'm going to hesitate, boom. Okay, I'm going to use speed. Close speed button. Okay, okay. So you guys should play around with that idea of changing the rhythm. If you fight in one mode every single time, okay, it's too predictable. Okay? There's a reason why when I spar you guys, I don't really move. I just kind of move my head, make sure you guys get your range, okay? Because I'm reading you the whole entire time. And when Phil tells me 1 minute left, okay, that's when I start attacking because I figured you out. So you got to start doing that with everybody else here, okay? Because everybody has a tell. Even I have tells, okay? So it's just knowing what to look for. So the best way to do that is to drill and to look for what you're making mistakes with. Okay? So if Louis doing the 1, 2, 3, I'm going to always fix him. I'm going to always tell him, okay, your jab's not straight, right hand's not straight, your hook's kind of a little sloppy. Okay, we're going to start, not that he does those things, but I'm just saying, like, those are the types of things we got to look out for. Okay? Same thing with your defense. Oh, there's a little crack in your defense, your elbow's a little too high, you're kind of blinking when I throw. Okay, you guys have to always constantly communicate because it's striking, it's dangerous. It's not like jiu-jitsu where I can do a submission and hold it. Right? If I throw a punch and it's too fast, it's too late. Right? If he makes a mistake, he's going to get hit. Right? So always think about being aware of what you're doing. Okay, so straight, straight, straight. Okay? And then when he throws, always read his body. So if he throws, okay? If he decides to change the rhythm, okay, that's on me because I'm playing defense. I'm reading him. So if he goes 1, 2 real fast, hesitates and throws a 3, okay, then I have to be aware of that. So if he does it again, okay, I have to be aware of that each time. If he decides to go power, 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 okay, I have to be aware of that. Okay? So you guys have to constantly talk with your teammates, training partners, figure out how you're going to drill at a rhythm, how you're going to spar at a rhythm. When you slow it down, that's when it's the key. Okay, I tell Angel and Louis this all the time. Slow your spars down. Okay, figure him out first. Okay, once you guys figure each other out, that's when the sparring gets fun. Because now you guys are playing a chess match, right? Instead of just like pounding the shit out of each other until someone breaks something.
Is it good technique to always build the power during combos on the final punch?
It's one type of technique. Okay. So the thing about combinations is you always want to set things up. You never want to throw a power shot because you want to end the combination that way. Okay, what I'll do a lot of times is I'll throw speed, 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 speed for the first round. I won't even hurt him. Okay, I'll touch him. Okay, when I touch him, I know my range, I know his reaction, I know his feints. So I'm analyzing him for 3 minutes. I'm breaking him down for 3 minutes. Okay, and then that's when I dissect him and just pick him apart. So if he decides to flinch on the jab, okay, then I'm going to come over with my right hand with the power shot. Okay, it's fast, strong, put everything I have in it. Okay, if he blocks that and he's aware, okay, well I'm going to throw that, okay, and I'm not going to commit to it. Okay, I'm just going to get him to react. I'm going to have him do this. Okay, I'm going to occupy his guard, and then I'm not going to even land. I'm going to come in with the hook, go across him. Okay. So you guys have to start thinking about changing your targets. Okay, it's not just about hitting the chin. It's about getting them to respond to you. Okay, it takes 2 to tango. It always does that. Okay, Every striking match is like that. So I have to take what he gives me. I can force the issue and power through if I'm strong enough, or if I'm like a Mike Tyson where I'm just using my speed to overwhelm you. That's one thing. Okay, but it's going to come down to technique. So if I'm here and all I'm doing is bombs, okay, when you go against an elite striker, someone who's very technical, he's going to move. He's going to move. He's going to use his head. He's going to move. He's going to move. And the moment you start throwing a haymaker and you overstep and lose your balance, that's when he's going to attack. Okay? So you guys have to start looking out for those things. So don't spar just for the sake of sparring. Okay? Don't do drills just because you want to get a little more work on your punching power. Okay? That's the last thing you guys should be worried about. Be worried about your hip movement. Be worried about your guard. Okay? Because the power and speed will come. Okay? That's stuff that's going to develop with everybody. And everybody's going to have a different type of power. They're going to develop at different rates because everybody has a learning curve that's different. But what's going to be always the same is your technique. So if you're good at being defensive and not getting hit, okay, you're miles ahead of the game. Right? So focus on your defense, focus on your awareness, okay? And then when you throw your punches, make sure it's tight and crisp. Okay? If you guys notice when you spar with me, I let you go at your own pace. I don't push the action, I don't pressure you, I just make you react. And that's the thing you want to do with your training partners. Just get them to react the way you want them to react. If I want to throw my check hook, I'll land it at will. But that's because I'm reading you the entire time. So whenever you give me that opportunity to land that check hook, I'm landing that check hook. Okay? Whenever you give me an opportunity to land that right hand, I'm going to land that right hand. Okay? But you don't throw it and then hope it lands. Okay? That's the wrong mentality. Okay? I have an 80% shot of breaking through his guard because I'm a big dude. That's the wrong way to fight. Wrong way to train. Wrong way to think about technique. Because you're always going to find a guy who you won't be able to do that to. And then your game is completely done. Okay? So you always want to be adaptive. So that's why every single person here has a different style, has a different mentality. And I'm just trying to get you guys to think of it a little bit more of a cerebral perspective. You guys want to break him down first. Okay? So don't be so over enthusiastic about hitting the guy. If you nail him, you nail him, or whatever. But you want to make sure you're here, you're moving a lot. You're not sticking your chin up. You're not overreacting by using both hands or one hand. Okay? You don't want to be too wide with your stances or your guard. You always want to be tight, but you want to be relaxed. Okay? There's no openings here. Okay? I can block wherever I want. Okay? And then the moment you decide to open your guard so you want to overcommit, that's when I'm hitting you. Okay? I don't have to hit you hard. I just have to hit you clean. Okay? Any other questions? All right, thanks for training, guys.